Hey everybody, and welcome to, this is kind of my weekly Chakra Wisdom Oracle reading for all of you. And I'm actually sitting outside. This is my backyard, do you believe it? And actually that's a treehouse that you see in the distance. So it's just such a beautiful day. And today, the day of this recording, is August 12th, 2018. And I want to let you know that this week, Mercury's going to go direct. Now, for some of us, that's good, but just get ready, because in that shadow time, right before it goes direct, on around August 17th, 18th, it's kind of like things kind of try to get equal again. So just get ready for that retrograde going direct, but remember that Mars is still in retrograde till the end of the month. So a couple things I want to say, because we are coming into a new moon. I'm going to pull some red cards. I'm going to talk about what I'm really going to talk about today is the red cards. So I'm going to talk about the meaning of the red cards in the Chakra Wisdom. And with a new moon means we go inside. A full moon is we go outside. So what does that mean? It's invisible, new moon, to visible, full moon. So in the new moon, that's when we plant seeds. That's when we have that introspective time. That's when we look at our roots. So we're going to look today, this week, at what's going on and in that root chakra, within the red cards. So I'm going to pull a card for you for today, and we're going to talk about it, and then I'm going to talk about building on the week. So the first card is Insecurity. And one of the things I want to say about Insecurity that's such a great, I actually love all the cards in their own way, because remember what I often say is what opposes exposes. So the actual opposite of insecurity would be confidence and courage. So one of the things that this fable represents is a young man who comes up with his own invention, his own idea, and he's afraid that people will turn him down. And if you look closely, you can actually see there is Bob. And his heart is outside of what he's covering. So his heart is trying to get to him. Look at the little demon, that's Demon Red Rainbow, and it says that the greatest adversary is living inside of me. So what's coming forward is, are you building a strong enough foundation for where you want to go? And that's something to contemplate now. I think in this particular week, we're going to be looking at, what do I need to learn? What do I need to root, right? What do I need to know in order to grow? So what I would say to you is, you almost want to have that mantra for the week of, what do I need to know in order to grow? So when we look at the Insecurity card, it's actually about a young man who does face himself and have the courage to move forward into whatever's happening. So let's look at what that next card's going to be for you, in the Acceptance card. When we look at, again, root chakra energy this week, foundation, we're looking at here, this is, it's Cherry Heart is the name of the actual original fable. And from the original fable, this is also a great spirit card, because that's also, I think that's Goddess coming in and helping Cherry. In the actual fable, she actually has cut a piece of pie in the story, and she's standing there and she says to another waitress, I feel like I'm this pie, like my life has a piece missing. And what the other waitress says to her is, well, maybe you're just a heart-shaped pie. So one of the things I want to bring up to you is that, you may not fit the norm, but you have everything you need to face whatever internal stopping thing you've created. So it's kind of like if we have our own, I'm not good enough stuff going on, and looking at, I don't really know everything I need to know. Well, maybe you don't, and maybe you can learn it, but that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. And I want to say that because I think a lot of us feel like there's something missing in our life. And the truth is, you may just be that heart-shaped pie. Let's take a look at this card this week, this final card I want to pull for you. The Perfection card. Oh my goodness. So many people go, oh yes, and I'm a perfectionist. Well, what I want to tell you about perfection is that in the actual fable, it's Righteous Raspberry is the name of the fable, the original fable, and that the card's based on. the idea of Righteous Raspberry is that she wants to help everyone. She wants to help everyone by telling them the right thing to do. So she goes around and she says, oh, you have a piece of your hem that's been slit open, or she just tells everybody what's wrong with them or what looks bad in their life in the moment. And one of the things that her elderberry says to her is, you may not need to do that. People want to like you, but you make it difficult. So sometimes that facade, if you will, of perfectionism really prevents us from digging in and getting that, if you will, intimacy, which means into me see. It's not something we get from someone else. It's kind of what we reveal. We reveal who we are. And one of the things that may happen here is you may get to recognize that trying to look good may be preventing you from actually experiencing what you need to experience this week. So when we look at the week as a totality, let's take a look at what we can look at: uncover, discover, and discard, right? So we want to uncover what's going on internally, what's making us uneasy. So one of the best things to do is to go, I feel uneasy, and this is the name I'd give it. So keep drilling down, just I feel uneasy, and just write, my dog's getting older, I'm not feeling well. Whatever it is, just keep writing it until something hits you and you go, oh, that's it. Then the second thing to look at is that you may not be anyone with a piece missing. You may not be missing anything. In fact, you may just be that heart-shaped pie. You may be someone that suspects a piece missing because that's an old idea. And in this new moon, we're going to uncover it. We're discovering it. And then we're going to discard it. And so when we look at discarding that need for perfection this week, that need for that something to look so perfect, when the truth is that it's the trees with the knots in the ground that are the most interesting. It's the root that has the most strength that can withstand the storm. So trying to look perfect may not be really allowing you to create kind of an intimacy with a project you're working on, with the people you're around. And it really is about intimacy. If you're going to write something, if you're going to create something, if you're going to be, do, or have something, it may be letting go of what you think it needs to look like. Because the truth is, it needs to look imperfect so that people can accept it and you. I hope that helps you. And remember, itchy nose. Remember that this week, Mercury goes direct, and so it's time to get all of that uncover, discover, discard in place so that when Mercury does go direct, you're going to be ready to take it on full force. And I'll see you next week.